Art has always been a rather prevalent form of entertainment and expression, though it is an ever-evolving source of entertainment for artists and viewers alike. The meanings behind various works of art depend on the artist individually and can hold any level of significance for him or her. My personal affinity for art began early in my life. I enjoy many various forms of art, including painting, drawing, photography, and ceramic art. Creating art of my own has always been a passion of mine. However, I do also enjoy and appreciate visiting galleries and museums to admire other artists' works. This is a passion of mine that I hope to keep with me for my whole life and to continue to grow in my knowledge and love for it. For a portion of my life, I was a self-taught artist, though once I reached 8th grade, I started taking some art classes, and this has deepened my love and appreciation for it. I have ventured into creating works in many different forms, including, but not limited to, those which I had mentioned earlier. Personally, I use art to express emotions, which I occasionally find difficult to put into words. It allows the artist to give freedom to his or her mind and create something that portrays a thought or emotion. Some of my works could be examples of my own personal depiction of moods. Sometimes this is the preferred method for portraying emotions if the artist feels as though mere words are not sufficient for the proper expression. It's also a great stress reliever, with one of the main forms of art for this being coloring. Color therapy has been proven to dramatically release stress and calm down the mind of a troubled individual. Art takes time, patience, trial and error, but in the end, it is almost always rewarding to see your final project. I'm not going to lie and say that it's always 100% rewarding, because sometimes the artist doesn't like his or her own work, but that's okay, it's a learning curve. There are and have been many different great artists out there in the world. Some of these artists are Van Gogh, who was and still is a very popular artist, noteworthy for the excellent way in which he poured the emotions of his struggle through a rather dark, disorderly life into his works. Andy Goldsworthy, who makes art with nature by rearranging objects in nature to create a beautiful image, and then takes a picture of it to show the world. Or Aaron Toole, a ceramic artist who makes cups that represent war in a way that people can't seem to talk about. These are all artists I admire, and I find their work very amazing. However, now I'm going to focus on the works of Aaron Toole. Mr. Toole is a former Marine who fought in the Gulf War. I have watched videos and have read different articles on his work to learn more about what inspired him to create his own unique art. After hearing his story and looking at his artwork, it just really shows what I'm trying to point out and inspires me to keep creating works of my own. He talks about what it's like being in the war, how a man goes to the war, comes back a different man, how they have to do some unspeakable things and that you can't really come back from it and forget it all. After the war, he came back to continue school, and that's where he fell in love with ceramics. He explains how he wanted to talk about what he experienced while at war, but really didn't know how to, though this might be a way to do that.
Aaron Toole has gone off to war, witnessed the horrors of it, but instead of shying away from it, he's decided that he wants to address it.
He has made over 14,000 cups and given them away to people. He says that he feels this is what he was made to do. On his cups, he puts a lot of different symbols, pictures, imprints, and sayings. He will use children's war toys or people's war medals to make models of them so he can put them on the cups. He says that he doesn't really care whether a person agrees with a certain war, but rather cares about what their knowledge on the war really is and if they understand what it's like. Aaron wants to be able to use his cups as a way to start conversations on wars that most people do not want to talk about. Aaron later talks about how he doesn't really believe in memorials, but ended up making a 1.5 second war memorial, which was a video of his cups being shot at. At first I thought, what could this stand for? He's destroying the cups that he made, but then he goes on to explain more about it. If you want to watch the video for all the people that were killed in World War II, you would have to watch it for 2 years. And if you wanted to watch it for all the people who were killed in the Gulf War, you would watch it for 8 minutes, each 1.5 seconds being a life. The main story behind this video is that these cups could have lasted for many years, but one gunshot destroyed them forever, just like all the people shot in the war. They lost their lives when they could have lived many more years, started a family, continued school, or done something with the rest of their lives. As I have said before, sometimes art is a way to express or explain how someone is feeling when they can't seem to do it themselves. It is also a great way to share with the world things that people might not fully understand or talk about. As for myself, I use art as a way to express emotions, thoughts, and as a way to let my imagination run wild. I have learned so much over the years, but yet there is still so much more to learn, and I can't wait to grow in my ability as an artist so I can continue to share my love for art with others.